My view is, it's really, and I think this, we try to reinforce this at every turn. Our efforts are not about help us, save us, give us a few dollars so we can mount that production. Instead, it's really about how the arts are part of the solution to some of the most urgent challenges facing our city and facing our state. So I think it's really having a broader frame, that the work is not just about a performance or an exhibition. It's about contributing to the workforce, it's about building community, and it's about contributing to world-class education for our young people.
Social justice is a core value of the work we do. Social justice, self-advocacy is integral to that work. Arts is a means to social justice, not a byproduct. And that the process itself creates thoughtful, reflective individuals capable of self-advocacy, civil social discourse, and care for one another in a way that just
hearing the stories
or just telling your story and then not being part of the process of turning that story into art.
We do offer traditional Korean percussion workshops, conversations after workshops about about things that are just going on within our community. After those conversations, people develop these relationships, and I think people become transformed. And I think you can see evidence of that at KRCC because people who've taken workshops, they've ended up becoming board members, staff, and participants in other programs. The arts gives a great amount of visibility to the issues that that do affect the Korean American community, especially when it comes to immigration reform. We're not a large organization, but you're still able to make a difference and have an impact.
I think Iman looks at arts and culture as something that's a pulse of our community, and we're trying to build healthy communities that are well. And we can also utilize arts and culture to transform our communities. Really important thing for us to do. So there's two kind of signature things we do. One of them is Community Cafe. We hold that every other month in Chicago. And as it sounds, it's a place for our community and our several different communities to come together and experience basically our lives through the art. The other event is similar but a lot larger in scale, and that's our big festival, Taking It to the Streets. It happens in the summer every other year, and there we're bringing out a lot more performing artists. There's a bazaar, there's family zones, there's speakers, there's a lot of conversation going on about social justice, both through the arts themselves and directly talking about different topics, policies, issues, etc. And that's a big way for us to kind of show some of our ideals and kind of show what things can look like on a single day and through this big festival. And then it kind of helps encourage the work that we're continuing to do.
I think a key point was the decision to abandon short-term program in favor of long-term immersion. The number of kids that we reached in any given year dropped, but the extent of time that we spent with the kids that we do reach increased. So for the funders who understood that, it was seen as an added value, but there are certain funding entities that look strictly at the number of kids you touch, regardless of how deeply.
We don't like to necessarily separate the fact that people have lives that are separated into the way organizations think, right? We're doing some policy work here, we're doing some social justice work here, and we have this concert here. We realize that all these things are really interconnected.
To make sure that when doing and combining culture and social justice work together, that it's a very it's a long-term process, just like doing movement work. Especially with people within our community, you build very solid and deep relationships with them, and this is what culture allows.